we are here again at Brewood Farm. So I don't call it Brewood Farm like I normally do, but Brewood Farm. Very kindly with Tim again, Tim Parton, who I'm sure you all know. We're just back from doing the Groundswell show, which quite frankly I was amazed at. The number of people there, the stalls, the way it went forward, the talks. It was an excellent show. And from what I've heard, there is no doubt about it that Tim was the most impassioned speaker there as far as intelligent farming is concerned. Everybody was really impressed, as I always am. But Tim, would you like to just explain what intelligent farming is? Because I think it's a superb name for what we do.
It is a superb name for what we do, and basically people keep referring to me as doing low input farming, and I'm not a low input farmer. Every time somebody brings out that word low input, people straight away visualise a farm that hasn't been farmed to its full potential. I want this farm to be at full potential. Yield is still king, it still matters, but I want to achieve that yield with the lowest inputs I can. Be that, it might be £30 a hectare to do something, it could be £1 a hectare, but it's always intelligent farming, doing the best for that crop to get that most yield, but doing it as cheaply as I can. But I would not ever consider myself a low input farmer. It's intelligent farming, it's making informed decisions. We've got so much knowledge now at our fingertips that we can just use that to the full advantage and get this crop through to a bumper harvest.
But I think we can still say that probably the most important job on the farm is nitrogen management, and especially as it's gone up £100 a tonne in a fortnight.
Definitely, nitrogen can be our worst enemy, it can be our best friend, but it's just finding that balance. Because we've used the 1-2-3, the amide N this time, I've managed to produce a crop of wheat with 56 kilos of N, and that's got to be the way forward. We're not polluting our water, we're not creating dead zones with all the leaching from nitrogen. Most nitrogen we're only using 50% at the best. We're using a foliar N, we're far more efficient, and we're still achieving the best results without having this big problem with the planet in which we live. There is no planet B. This is it, and we've all got to be responsible for that.
No, I've been pleased to see how the foliar N has worked this year. Although I think, to be fair, and going into next year, I still think there's a part for the liquid N onto the soil. There's even a home early on for a granular N in Netty that has worked. Early granular N has worked this year, but the N onto the soil, especially in a colder soil, where we're not getting it before we get the cycling, so that's important. And also not forgetting the amino acid N, which can greatly increase bushel weight at the end of the crop.
Definitely.
So no, that's really worked well for us this year, and it'll certainly give us plenty to discuss for starting again in September, which we'll be back on the wheel again very soon. Very soon.
The year keeps turning round and we can't control that.
But the one thing as we're getting towards the end of this year we've got to discuss is the weather, because this year really has been, it's just been the worst that we've known, in my opinion.
If we could have had a worse growing period and asked for the weather to be the way it has, this would be it. We had such a dry, cold April, and then we moved into a wet, cold May. It's just been so hard. I'll just be glad when this season's finished, because it's just been a constant battle all the way through, because we've only had 17 mil of rain here now since the 20th of May. And it just doesn't seem fair when the rest of the country's had inches and I've only had 17 mil, but we do our best, and it's what I love about farming. We never know what we're going to get, and it's always a challenge. It always has been and it always will be, and that's what gives me the pleasure in farming, is we're always up against a challenge.
Well, I think you need a bit of luck, because I was watching it on the news this morning, and just the other side of Wolverhampton, they were showing the floods.
There's no need. You're just rubbing salt in the wound,
It is unfair. I'm trying to shout out and say to the weather gods.
Look at it. There's no need.
I'm trying to get the weather gods to be a bit more fair.
Not more than a mile away that way. I had 70 mil last weekend and I missed it again. It's the sun always shines on the righteous. I don't know.
The prospect of yield here is good. It is here. We just need the seed to swell up. So we do need that rain. Let's fingers crossed for this weekend. We've sort of followed bits and bobs and what you've been doing this year. Now you've just been in spraying now, sort of a very late spray, it has to be said, sort of a T3 plus. So what have you been putting on today?
Today we've just been putting some potassium silicate on with Transformer as the wetting agent to get that potassium silicate on the leaf as much as possible. We're just trying to reinforce that cell strength just to get us through now to harvest, so we can't get the disease in there.
It's really sort of to protect the plant whilst
protect
it's
the
under
plant.
stress from being dry.
It
so,
is, because
again,
the
yeah.
plant's dying basically because it is so dry, and so we're just giving it every bit of help we can to get it through to harvest now clean.
So, yes, fingers crossed. Really, nothing more we can do. It's just
Other than doing the rain dance, Nick,
Yeah.
which I know you're good at, and I need you to do another one.
I'll do my best. I'll run around on the lawn naked tonight.
Make sure nobody can
I was
see
going to
that.
say that's an image that nobody wants, but there we go. I would like to thank you for your help this year.
Been a pleasure.
Both from an Aiva point of view for filming and seeing what you're doing, and from a personal point of view, because I love coming here. We're both like-minded, both idiots.
Takes one to know one.
But no, it is nice to. It's been smashing this year, and with a bit of luck, we can sit down and, if the weather permits, we can do it even better next year.
Always room for improvement.
Lovely. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Nick.